When I was born, my mom was in her mid-20s. She suffered from depression. She was in and out of the hospital quite a bit during my childhood. She was my dad's midlife crisis. He already had a family of his own, had 3 or 4 kids, and he stuck around for a little while, but by the time I was about 18 months, he had gone back to his own first family. I was kind of in and out of foster care. A number of different families kind of took me on for either a week here, a week there, or, a couple months here, a couple months there. My mom would come home for a little bit, she'd feel better, and then, she'd be back into the hospital. But she passed shortly before my 7th birthday. My mom's parents, my grandparents, they were around, but they were unable to take me. And so at the age of 7, I moved to a children's home, and I was there till I was finally introduced to the Parker family, who ended up adopting me into their family when I was about 8 years old. It was a Christian family, and I was quickly plugged into church. I'd been going to church with them for a while, and a friend of mine had invited me to an event where I really felt called to give my life to Jesus that night, and that was kind of a turning point, for me. And I look back, and it's like I probably wouldn't have ever been in that situation if my life hadn't kind of changed along the way. I guess in hindsight, I was kind of like, what? Surely my dad's gonna kind of come back at this point, and of course, make it right and all this, and he didn't. I think one of the aspects that I've really struggled with has been, the aspect of God as a father, and seeing God as a father, because my own experience was, my biological father, pretty much abandoned me right out of the gate. And then when there was another opportunity to, maybe come in and, make it right and repair that relationship, he didn't want any part of it. And then even after being adopted and having a new earthly father, it still is a little bit different. And I think just from my own perspective, not trying to protect myself too much and just being like, okay, I can trust God as a father. That's always been a challenge for me. And I think, honestly, the thing that really started to break that a little bit in me was becoming a father myself, and then kind of seeing my kids and having the love for them that I do kind of helped me kind of reframe that reference of, hey, my own father, may have abandoned me, and it made me struggle with, God as a father, but just kind of being a father and how much I love them, and then being like, well, God loves me, over and above, anything that I could do for my own kids. So I think that's kind of my transition of kind of viewing God as a father kind of through the years. So it was by God's grace that he had another plan for me, and was just gonna be, I know life started out a little rough and came through, a broken family, and God was able to turn that around. It's like, actually, I can bring something good out of that.